When you hear the word diversification, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But in my experience as an advisor, most people only think about diversification when it comes to how they invest their assets, not where they put them or how long they put them there. So today I want to walk through 3 ways to diversify: time, type, and tax. Let's start with time. Diversifying by time means we structure your investments with when we'll actually need the money. One of the biggest mistakes I see is when somebody depends on the market to produce a specific return at a specific moment in time, especially if they need that money for income. This is dangerous. This is unwise. We're playing with fire because markets are unpredictable. An old coworker of mine used to have this line. He'd say, "The trend is your friend until the bend in the end." Bottom line is we can't control markets, but we can control how we invest our assets around time. And so we'll look at diversifying from our short-term needs, our midterm goals, and our long-term goals. Time diversification helps us manage risk and keeps greed and fear in check. Type diversification. This is what most people think of first. Stocks, bonds, real estate, private equity. You can go even deeper. Large cap versus small cap, domestic versus international, growth versus value. Now here's where people get in trouble. Many fortunes have been made by concentrating in one asset class or in one company. But just because something worked once doesn't mean it will work again or continue to work. You can concentrate to get rich, but you diversify to stay rich. Type diversification protects what you built. Tax diversification. This is the one that most people overlook. Tax diversification means deliberately owning assets that are taxed differently now and into the future. Because when you retire, you don't just want income, you want flexibility. And that specifically is tax flexibility. Some retirees today don't have a money problem, they have a tax problem. Why is that? Because most of their assets sit inside traditional IRAs and 401ks, all taxable at ordinary income. And honestly, it's not their fault. It's really all they had to work with, because a lot of retirees started working, pensions were fading out, 401ks were coming in. Roth accounts didn't exist until 1998. Roth 401ks became common much, much later. So they only had one option: defer taxes. But deferring taxes isn't the same as eliminating. Now we're seeing a shift. Younger generations have more access to Roth options, and in 20 to 30 years, we may see retirees with millions of dollars in tax-free assets. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about how much you have, it's about how much you keep. If you need help thinking through how your money should be diversified across time, type, and tax, be glad to begin that conversation and walk you through it clearly. Next week, we're expanding on one of the biggest myths in retirement planning. And that is the assumption that you'll automatically be in a lower tax bracket and paying less taxes in retirement. We'll see you then.